With Ospreay being confirmed and Okada seemingly on his way to AEW, we have to take note of the absolute star power that AEW has right now. They have so many stars on their main roster, so many main event level talent on their roster right now. I mean, simply we've got Okada who's coming in, seemingly, Ospreay who's been confirmed. Then you look at the other talent that they've had and had for a while. We've got Jay White, we've got Hangman Adam Page, we've got Kenny Omega when he's back, we've got Jon Moxley, we've got Bryan Danielson, we've got Eddie Kingston. We've got Swerve Strickland now. We've got Samoa Joe. We've got MJF when he's back. We've got Adam Cole when he's available. The level of main event talent that they have, and I'm sure I am forgetting a lot of names right now, but the level of talent that AEW have right now is absolutely disgusting. It is so damn stacked. But with that comes the question, are they overstacked? Are they overdoing it now? I mean, they're even potentially getting Mercedes Moné later on, I think this month or early next month. And that is where I think they need some more talent. The women's division needs that level of talent. They've got Toni Storm, they've got Deonna Purrazzo, very good acquisition in Deonna Purrazzo. They've got obviously Britt Baker when she comes back, very good. They've got who else have they got? Jamie Hayter when she comes back. Those are the stars in my opinion. There's a lot of other good wrestlers like Hikaru Shida, Soraya's also there. You know, there's other people, but I'm talking stars that you can really build that division around. So Mercedes Moné coming in there is a good thing. But when you think of Okada coming into the men's side, you think, where's the space? Where is the space? I've seen what happened to Jay White. I've seen Jay White now, a part of the Bang Bang Scissors Club, and it just, the man is too good for that. You know what I'm saying? The man is too good for that. He deserves better. He deserves to be one of the top talents. And I'm worried, not that I'm worried that Okada is going to struggle, because trust me, Okada will be on top of that division, hands down. But who's going to get pushed to the wayside? Who's going to get shoved out the way for Okada to come in? Who's going to get pushed out the way for Ospreay to come in? You know, MJF still has to come back. There's a lot of big names that need positions, and there's not enough TV time, there's not enough championships. There's enough championships in AEW, sorry. There's not enough world titles to go around for all of them. Okay, trust me, there's enough championships in AEW. We do not need any more, please, Tony. Anyway, so I'm worried about the booking and certain wrestlers not reaching their potential that they had when they came from the other companies. Now, I don't want to hear, oh, but WWE did this to this person, WWE did this to Shinsuke, WWE did this to AJ Styles. I don't want to hear about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about AEW. I'm talking about the amount of stars that they have and whether they can actually accommodate all these stars and they can actually book them to their full potential. Because, I mean, lately we've been seeing the likes of Jon Moxley in a lot of tag matches, and he had the international title for a while. Then we had Hangman Adam Page doing, okay, he's been building to the stuff with Swerve, so that's perfectly fine. But Kenny Omega was doing stuff with Jericho before he got injured. You know, there's people, Danielson takes losses left, right, and center. Eddie Kingston's obviously got the 3 titles. I'm just thinking of the main event caliber names and what they've been doing for a while, especially while MJF was holding the title and while he was doing the stuff with Adam Cole. There wasn't much happening for a lot of the other main event level talent. So I am intrigued to see how Tony Khan does this, how he manages this whole situation. But in saying that, okay, if he manages to book this right, and maybe you use Okada in a more not a consistent basis. Maybe we don't see Okada every week on TV. Maybe Okada is that guy that comes in and does the big matches. I think that would be the best way to use Kazuchika Okada. Unless you make him champion. If you make Okada champion, you gotta then have him on TV. But the point I'm making is use him as a superstar. Use him as a draw. Use him as someone people want to come to the pay-per-views and see. I think that's the best way to use Kazuchika Okada in this situation. Because he will take spots of other people. He will not want to lose matches. He will not. That's just how he was in Japan. He did not lose a lot, and when he lost, it meant something. Whereas in AEW, they might not have that much leniency of you can only lose here, and when you lose, it'll mean this much. That might not always be the case. Okay, so I'm super excited to see what Tony Khan is able to do here, and if he's able to fix this. Not fix this. It's not a problem yet, but it can be a problem. If he's able to avoid this issue. And then we look at Will Ospreay, okay? And first thing that comes to my mind, Will Ospreay is All In 2024 winning the title. I don't know why. That is the first thing that comes to my mind. So my question is, if you go down that route, which I kind of think they were hinting at a couple times, if you go down that route, okay, how do you get there without pushing other people to the side again? You know, where does Samoa Joe end up in that? Where does Swerve end up in that? Where does Hangman Adam Page end up in that? Where does John Moxley end up in that? You know, where do these people end up? And I know there's a lot for AEW to do, but for instance, John Moxley, I want to talk about him for a little bit. He's been losing quite a bit lately. He's been prone to a couple losses lately, and I do think that might have devalued him a little bit. Same as Chris Jericho. He has lost a lot recently, and now beating just Chris Jericho means nothing. Action Andretti beat him, Konosuke Takeshita beat him, you know, all these people have beaten him, and it's like, what does that mean now if I beat him? It means nothing. It means nothing. So I'm worried all these people just being pushed in different storylines and losing and winning and losing devalues them to a certain extent. So that's where I think too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I think less is more when it comes to your stars sometimes. You have your 4 or 5 big stars, you don't need 10, 20 of them. And I think that's what AEW is doing, because they kind of don't want to lose these people to WWE. And at the same time, Tony Khan's thinking, hopefully this guy's the one that brings huge numbers to my TV show. Which, in all fairness, is the right thing to do. You want to bring the top talent in. But you also need a little bit of a recycle with the talent you've got. And as harsh as that sounds, maybe some talent leaving the company is not a bad thing. Maybe some of the main roster, the main event guys going off somewhere else is not a bad thing. Because it just opens the doors for new guys and new things to happen, rather than the same old guys like Moxley, Kenny, Jericho, all those guys. I'm not saying they should leave, please. I'm just saying maybe every now and then a guy leaves. You let a guy go do his thing. It's not a bad thing, because it opens the door for new people, rather than disappointing everybody in the situation. Because you can never make everyone happy, and I think that's the big problem here. Not everybody can be happy at the end of the day. So trying to please all these different people is going to be a nightmare for Tony Khan, and I hope he's up to the challenge, and I hope he can handle it. But with Okada and Ospreay coming in, I'm super excited. Those two are my favorite New Japan wrestlers of the last couple years for sure, and I've definitely dived right into New Japan Pro Wrestling. Ospreay, of course, being number 1 by far. So I'm super excited to see what Ospreay can do with all this fresh talent. Okada and Ospreay against new talent, new people. It's always exciting when you see new matchups, like with Edge. All these new matchups, super exciting. So I'm excited to see what happens here. And Mercedes Moné, if she comes in, that'll be huge for the women's division. Anyways, guys, that was just my little 2-piece on the situation. I thought about it last night, and I'm like, let me make a small video on this and see what you guys have to say about the situation as well. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.